Manhattan, Le Grand Restaurant, Upper East Side. During dinner service, a 10-year-old girl in dirty, torn clothes approaches trembling toward an elegant table. Sitting across from her is Catherine Walsh, 32, a fashion millionaire from New York's elite. "Excuse me, ma'am," whispers the little girl with a broken voice. Could I have what you don't finish?" Catherine looks up from her $200 wagyu steak plate. She sees blue eyes filled with tears, little hands trembling with hunger. "How long have you gone without eating, sweetheart?" she asks gently. 3 days, the girl replies. In that moment, the most ruthless businesswoman in Manhattan makes a decision that will change 2 lives forever. "Sit here beside me," she says, moving the chair. The waiter protests. "Mrs. Walsh, that child cannot—" "I said, sit down," Catherine repeats firmly. What happens next will shock all of elegant Manhattan and prove that sometimes kindness is worth more than all the money in the world. It was a cold, humid November night. The golden lights of Le Grand Restaurant illuminated the historic buildings of the Upper East Side while inside. New York's elite dined, spending in one evening what many earn in a month. Catherine Walsh sat at her usual table. At 32, she had built a fashion empire worth $2 billion. Dressed in an $8,000 blue Armani suit, she always ordered the same thing: wagyu steak with a glass of Napa Valley Reserve. But that night she felt strangely empty, despite her success. Outside walked Lucy, 10 years old, who had lived on the streets for 6 months. They called her the Little Blonde. Social services had removed her from her foster family after she reported abuse. The girl stopped in front of the restaurant window. The aroma of food made her stagger. She hadn't eaten in 3 days. Her clothes, once pretty, were now torn and dirty, but her blue eyes still shone with that special light children have. Lucy gathered all her courage and pushed the restaurant door. "Hey, what are you doing here?" The maitre d' stopped her, but Lucy had already seen Catherine. She walked toward her with trembling steps. "Excuse me, ma'am," she whispered. "I haven't eaten in a long time. Could I have what you don't finish?" Catherine looked up from her phone, saw that tiny girl with dirty blonde hair, but still beautiful, blue eyes full of hope and fear. Something broke inside the successful businesswoman's heart. "What's your name?" she asked gently. "Lucy," the girl replied, surprised by the kindness. "Lucy, when did you last eat?" "Monday I found a sandwich in the trash, but today is Thursday." Catherine felt her heart tighten. She stood up, took Lucy's hand, and made her sit beside her. "Waiter, bring another plate for my little guest." The waiter paled. "Mrs. Walsh, but that child—" "She is my guest," said Catherine firmly. "And bring hot chocolate, too." Lucy couldn't believe what was happening, sitting in a velvet chair next to an elegant lady who treated her as if she were important. And while the girl began to tell her story, Catherine understood that her life was about to change forever. While Lucy ate the wagyu steak as if it were the most delicious meal in the world, she began telling her story. "My parents died when I was 8, she said, pausing to savor every bite. "I went to live with the Johnson family, who fostered state children." Catherine listened in silence, feeling anger grow that she hadn't felt in years. At first they seemed good, but they kept the state money and used it for other things. "They made me work at home, clean, cook. They didn't always send me to school. And social services? When I tried to say what was happening, they didn't believe me. They said I was problematic." Lucy drank the hot chocolate and smiled for the first time in months. 6 months ago, Mr. Johnson tried to touch me in a strange way. I screamed and escaped. Since then, I live on the streets. Catherine felt her blood freeze. "Where do you sleep?" "Under the subway arches, sometimes in Central Park. When it rains, I look for stations, but the guards kick me out." "The hard part isn't the cold," said Lucy with wisdom beyond her years. "The hard part is when people look at you like you're dirty, bad, like it's your fault." Catherine had tears in her eyes. She who never cried was getting emotional over an unknown girl. "Lucy, you're not to blame for anything. You're just a brave girl who's had bad luck." "Mrs. Catherine, you're very kind. Why are you so sad?" The question hit Catherine like a punch. How could this girl notice her sadness? "Your eyes, even when you smile, your eyes are sad like mine when I think about Mom." Catherine understood something fundamental. She had everything money could buy, but she didn't have what Lucy preserved: the ability to see into people's hearts. "I'll take you to a warm place for tonight," she said suddenly. Lucy looked at her with hope and fear. "Really? You won't leave me like everyone does?" "I promise you," said Catherine, knowing her life would never be the same. Catherine took Lucy to her penthouse in Soho. The girl had never seen anything like it. "It's like a palace," she whispered, looking at the high ceilings, designer furniture. "You can take a hot bath. I'll find you clean clothes. And then you sleep in the guest room." When Lucy came out of the bathroom, she looked like another person. Her blonde hair shone clean and perfumed. She wore one of Catherine's cashmere sweaters. "You look beautiful," said Catherine sincerely. She accompanied her to the guest room. "Mrs. Catherine, why are you helping me?" asked Lucy under the silk sheets. Catherine sat on the edge of the bed. "I always thought success was everything. But tonight, watching you eat with such joy, I understood I had never done anything really important." "You also taught me something," said Lucy. "What?" "That good people still exist in the world." But at 3 a.m., Catherine woke up to a noise. She ran to Lucy's room. The bed was empty. On the desk, she found a note. "Dear Mrs. Catherine, you have been very good to me, but I only bring you problems. People like me can't be in beautiful places. Thank you for the most delicious dinner of my life. Lucy." Catherine felt her world collapse. She went out in pajamas and started looking for Lucy through New York streets. Subway stations, Upper East Side, Brooklyn. Nothing. At 6 a.m., she called the police. "It happens often," said the commissioner. "These street kids don't trust." But Catherine knew the truth. Lucy had left because she felt unworthy of that kindness. In that moment, she made the most important decision of her life. She wouldn't give up. She would find Lucy and show her she deserved all the love in the world. For 4 days, Catherine transformed the search for Lucy into her only priority. She canceled million-dollar meetings, hired private investigators, put posters all over New York. "Mrs. Walsh, the stock has dropped 3%, her assistant told her. "Investors are worried." "Lucy is more important than any business," Catherine replied. On the 5th day, a waiter from Grand Central called. "I've seen the girl from the poster. She's been here since this morning. She looks sick." Catherine ran like she had never run. She found Lucy collapsed under an archway with fever and trembling. The clean clothes were dirty again. The girl was coughing with dull eyes. "Lucy!" she screamed, kneeling beside her. "Mrs. Catherine, am I just a dream?" "No, sweetheart. I'm here for real." Catherine took her in her arms. She was light as a feather. She was burning with fever. "Why did you leave?" "Because I don't deserve beautiful things," Lucy whispered. "I'm dirty. I'm bad." "No, you are the most precious thing I've known, and I'll never leave you again." At Mount Sinai Hospital, doctors diagnosed pneumonia. "She'll have to stay admitted for a week. Luckily, you found her in time." Catherine didn't move from the bedside for 6 days and 6 nights. On the 7th day, Lucy woke up with clear eyes. "Did you stay here the whole time?" she asked with a weak voice. "Where else would I be?" Lucy started crying. "Nobody ever stayed with me when I was sick." Catherine took her hand. "Lucy, I want to ask you something important. Do you want to come live with me forever? But I'm not your daughter. You could be. I'd like to adopt you. I'd like you to be my daughter." Lucy burst into liberating tears. "Really? Can I have a mom again? I'll be the best mom in the world for you." As they hugged, both knew they had found what they had been looking for forever. Are you enjoying this story? Leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Now let's continue with the video. 6 months later, the adoption was official. Lucy lived with Catherine, went to a private school, and had everything she could want. But the biggest change was in Catherine. "Mom, Catherine, why aren't you going to the office today?" asked Lucy during breakfast. "Because I understood that money can always be earned, but time with you never comes back." Catherine had created the Lucy Walsh Foundation for homeless children, opening shelters throughout America. At school, some classmates made fun of Lucy. "Is it true you were a vagrant?" a girl had asked her. Lucy had come home crying. "Mom, Catherine, maybe I don't deserve this life." Catherine knelt in front of her. "Lucy, you're not here because I bought you. You saved my life. Before meeting you, I was rich but empty. You taught me what it means to truly love." The next day, Catherine went to school with Lucy. "Children, I want to tell you a story," she said to the class, and told about that night at the restaurant, Lucy's courage, how a girl had taught her the true meaning of life. "Lucy isn't just my daughter, she's my hero." From that day, Lucy became the most popular girl in class. In court, when the adoption was finalized, Lucy asked, "Mom, can I help you with the foundation? I want to help other children like me." "Of course you can. We'll be a team." Walking through Manhattan hand in hand, both knew their meeting hadn't been casual. It had been destiny uniting two souls who needed each other mutually. 2 years after the adoption, the Lucy Walsh Foundation had helped more than 500 children throughout America. Lucy, now 13, had become the foundation's youngest ambassador. During a visit to the Los Angeles Center, Lucy met Isabella, a 10-year-old girl with sad eyes. "I was also homeless," Lucy told her simply, "but then I met my mom and everything changed." "Really? You also lived on the streets?" "Yes. And I learned that it doesn't matter where you come from. It matters where you're going." That night at the hotel, Catherine saw Lucy studying. "Do you know what I'm most proud of? Your heart, your ability to help others despite what you went through. I learned it from you, Mom." On Lucy's 13th birthday, Catherine organized a party at the estate outside Manhattan. But the most beautiful gift wasn't under the tree. "Lucy," said Catherine in front of the guests, "a year ago you were a girl who asked for my leftovers. Today you're an incredible teenager who helps other children." She took out a document. "I've decided to donate half my fortune to the foundation. $1 billion to help all homeless children in America." Lucy was breathless. $1 billion. "You taught me that true wealth isn't money, it's the love you give and receive. And I've received more love from you than I've ever had. I love you so much, Mom. I love you too, sweetheart. You are my miracle." That night, looking at the stars, Lucy said, "Mom, do you think my parents from heaven are happy with you?" "Why do you ask me that?" "Because you managed to make me truly happy." Catherine understood she had accomplished the most difficult task, building a family based on true love. 3 years after that meeting at Le Grand, Lucy was 14 and had become an extraordinary teenager. She excelled at school and directed foundation projects. "Today we inaugurate Center number 50, said Lucy in front of cameras. "Every child we help is a life that changes." Catherine watched her from the back row with eyes full of pride. That night they returned to Le Grand restaurant, the same table, the same waiter who now received them with respect. Lucy ordered the wagyu steak, the same dish as the first time. "Do you know what I think?" she said while they waited. "That night it wasn't me who asked for your leftovers. It was destiny that made us find each other." "Why do you say that?" "Because you needed me as much as I needed you. You were rich but alone. I was poor, but had a lot of love to give." At that moment, an 8-year-old girl approached. Dirty clothes, frightened eyes. "Excuse me, ladies. Could you give me some of your bread?" Lucy and Catherine looked at each other and smiled. "What's your name?" asked Lucy. "Anna." "Anna, when did you last eat?" "Yesterday morning." Lucy made Anna sit next to her. "Waiter, another plate for our little guest." While Anna ate with the same gratitude Lucy had years before, Catherine understood the circle had closed. Kindness had become an inheritance transmitted from heart to heart. "Mom," whispered Lucy, "I think we found a new little sister." "I think so too." And while Anna ate her first hot meal in days, 3 generations of women came together. One who had learned to love, one who had learned to be loved, and one who was about to discover that love can change everything, because sometimes miracles begin with, "Can I have your leftovers?" and end with a family that has bonds of the heart that last forever. If this story touched your heart, leave a heart down below. Have you ever made a gesture of kindness that changed a life? Do you believe love is more powerful than any wealth? like if every child deserves a family. Subscribe for stories that make you believe in human goodness. Share with someone who believes in unconditional love. Comment: love has no price. If you believe in the transformative power of kindness. Remember, sometimes people enter our lives when we least expect it and change it forever.